What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to Chill with Pete, the coffee break catch-up series. Just moving my camera around so that you can see, where I bullet point things from the week, whatever, and I talk about stuff, or I go off on a tangent, like with some weird topic, like the title of this video, which I am going to call the Cookery Nook, the Hobby Butterfly, and the Magic Roundabout. It's a bit strange, isn't it? But before I do, I'm going to do a little demonstration because people have asked me, several people have asked me about my optic neuritis that I have in my eyes. I know, trying to describe it to someone is difficult, but, and I'm talking, professionals as well, eye care specialists, and so on. I mean, they know what it is technically on paper or on, in the book. But what does it look like? I think I might be able to show you. I'm just going to have a sip of coffee a minute, because I've got my coffee. Now this is purely for me being able to point to someone and say, well, look, just look at the start of that. This is what it's like. And a couple of you watched this as well. So I was watching a video of mine the other day. Well, you scroll through your channel, it comes up. Oh, on my phone comes up. Sometimes it starts playing the video. Like, you go, hang on a minute. A background there. It was the start of one of my videos. I was like, oh, right, okay. And in a lot of my videos, I have this this light box, like, subscribe, Patreon, just a bit of a promotional thing, So you can see that, right? You can see, and I say to people, well, optic neuritis is like, and they say, oh yeah, is it like all out of focus? No, it's not. It's not out of focus. It's perfectly in focus, but I can't read it. So what do you mean? Well, this is in focus, right? You can read that, yeah? Put the light on. Get to a certain point. This is what optic neuritis is. Very much like this. You get to a point where you move your eyes around. You can't quite see. You can see bits. Yeah. It's not easy. It's not out of focus. It's just not easy to see. That, I thought, was a perfect example of what optic neuritis is like. That is what we're dealing with here, folks. And that's why it's hard to read things on a computer screen right now. But that said, my eyes are definitely getting better, or at least the one eye is. I mean, the other eye is a bit far gone. I can still see, but it could be a lot better. But I'm not fully there yet. But I've noticed improvements of late, which is really, really encouraging. Let's have another sip of coffee a minute. But I thought that demonstration would be a great example of what optic neuritis is like, what it is. So I only seem to be able to capture it in these conditions with the other bright light shining down. So I think it reflects off the white background of the light box, but it doesn't half give me an accurate portrayal of what I see having optic neuritis. Is that exactly the same for everyone? I don't know. Might be. I think it's going to be similar. Because what it is your optic nerve has been attacked by your white blood cells, or the myelin sheath around the nerves, the optic nerves, and it inflames. The optic nerve becomes inflamed, causing that effect. well, in me, it's causing no effect. I mean, some people, I think, you get like starburst effects and different things. It's not the same effect as a diabetic eye problem, which oftentimes I've been told it's like looking through mist. So it's kind of a similar problem, but looking through mist. Whereas that, to me, for me, it's like having a glare on the words or whatever it is I'm trying to look at. Very difficult, which is why I've not been able to do hobby painting. Oh man, have I been so gutted. And have I, if ever there was cold turkey for hobbying, I'm going for it, it's been, but I think I'm at the point where I can do priming and maybe some, basic base colours and washes, that kind of thing right now. Certainly not going to be entering anything for Golden Demon right now this week, but I think I might be brave enough to start painting up a board game set of miniatures soon, i.e. Zombicide. I'm going to do that. Anyway, so what's the Cookery Nook all about? The hobby butterfly and the magic roundabout. It's something I was thinking about the other day, because, well, the Cookery Nook, what is the Cookery Nook? The Cookery Nook was actually a cafe here in Seaton where my mum used to work when she was young, like a young girl. So it's not something that was family owned, but when I was in the museum the other day. Was that last week? Might have been. Anyway, I was talking to the lady on the desk there who knew my family. Was telling me about my grandmother and my grandfather and my father, and I said, "Oh yeah, you're so and so's son." I said, "Yeah, really? Wow." And we got to talking about different things, and because my mum's told me the story of when she used to work in different places, and one place was called the Cookery Nook. It's just down there, and I know what the building is now. It's actually a bookshop now. And yeah, it used to be a cafe, and there was an upstairs to it as well, an upstairs part of the cafe. And we just got talking about it. And as I was walking down, later on in the day, I was walking back up the road past the building. I was thinking, Cookery Nook, Cookery Nook. And it came up out of the blue in another conversation I was having. My wife said, "How do you flip from one subject to the other like that?" I said, "Well, it's because I'm a hobby butterfly, aren't I?" He said, "What do you mean?" So, well, we're all hobby butterflies. What I mean by that is you start a project, American Civil War, World War II, whatever it is, Space Marines, you start it, and then you get distracted by something else. Some other flower comes along in the guise of, whatever it may be, a different army, different faction, whatever, and you start doing that, and then you get distracted again, and so on, until eventually you come around full circle, which is the magic roundabout in my brain. You come around full circle, magic roundabout. There you go. So you flip from so you flip from this hobby to 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 this hobby and back to the start again. That's what I do. So I don't think I'm alone in that. And three of those hobby flowers for me are role playing. When I say role playing, right, might be four. Fantasy role playing, science fiction role playing, zombicide. That's three, right? Warhammer. Right, so there's three, and then there's many ones in between. Reading, research for other videos, the series I want to make, board games, Lord of the Rings, World War Two, as I said, like a bit of bolt action going on. It's I go from one to the other to the other to the other, and back around again. I've come. At the moment, I'm coming back to sci-fi role playing in terms of the miniatures I want to paint. So I'm thinking about the miniatures I want to paint when I'm able to. I've got a few more, and it's for the Alien RPG game. So I've ordered a few more models for that. And the models I'm wanting to use for Alien are 32mm, right? And that's because you're not going to be using a lot of them, even by role-playing standards. You're not going to be using a lot of them. So I thought, let's have some slightly bigger ones. Easily see it on the tabletop. And role-playing in general, tools such as Mythic and all that kind of stuff, or a deck of cards or something. Things like that I'm going to go back to time and time again. That's just the way of things, whereas, like, my other sci-fi role-playing game, which I have, which is Blade Runner, I'm not planning on using miniatures for that. That's going to be all theatre of the mind. Maybe cards, or a few decks of cards, or pictures. Utilise those as opposed to miniatures. I don't feel well from what I've seen. I admit it's pretty limited, but from what I've seen, it doesn't look like you need a lot of tabletop representation. To me, that's just my take on it. Zombicide. There's 88 miniatures in that core box set, so logically, I'd be thinking airbrush for priming. I think on the first edition, the original Zombicide, I had it years ago, I think I used coloured primers, like necrotic flesh tone primers that Army Painter did, that kind of thing, which I think worked quite well. In a lot of cases, you cut out a step of the painting. But with all the different types of paints and technicalities you've got now behind painting, I'm not sure it's necessary. Literally just go with what you want now. But see, part of me wants to airbrush them for quickness, because there's a lot of miniatures, and I want to get them up and ready to play as soon as possible. Then part of me is thinking, well, you can't do much more than prime anyway, so do them by hand. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It might be. Well, it would be more therapeutic to do that. And it will get me used to the miniatures, learning the models, what they're like with the brush. There is that. That is an aspect I enjoy. In miniature painting, I like to get to know the miniature by doing the priming by hand. If you see a particularly difficult spot or whatever, you think, right, I'll remember that when I come to do the base coat or the layering or whatever it is I'm going to be doing there. So it is very handy for that, and it gives me time to prepare in advance for that. But as I say, it's a bit more time consuming. So the jury's out on that one. I'm not sure if that's something I'm going to be doing or not. It's 60-40 in favour of hand priming at the moment. But when the weather's just great, I could just I could just airbrush, or even take a rattle can out and do them in the courtyard in 5 minutes, be done. But then that's deprived me of all those miniatures to hand prime. Yeah, so it is what it is. I just have to think about that one. Anyway, so that's that. I've got a couple more unboxings to do. Still got some coffee here. The Cookery Nook, the Hobby Butterfly, and the Magic Roundabout. I thought it was a quirky title as well. My grandparents had a cafe in Seaton called the Tea Kettle Cafe. That was on the other side of the road, same street we're talking here. Literally almost opposite, just up slightly from there on the other side of the road. Yeah, it's very very odd. I'm talking to someone who knew my family, or who knows my family, but knew my ancestors. That's just strange. That's just crazy strange. When you've never met said person before, it's crazy strange. When you come back somewhere, I can't describe what it feels like. It feels odd. It feels really, really odd. Yeah, it feels good, but it feels odd. But yeah, so interesting for sure. The museum itself, I really enjoyed. Free admission. It's like crazy, brilliant. Left a donation, but yeah, so much work's gone into that. The collections in there, all different stuff. I can't even begin. You've got geology stuff, you've got Jurassic stuff, you got maps and lands and uniforms and family histories, building histories. It's just so much there. Yeah, it's just a history. Obviously, it's brilliant. Anyway, you got Roman history too, all the Roman stuff. A lot of Roman history here. That's why the roads are so straight, methinks. Anyway, but yeah, brilliant feeling. So I wanted to do this video because I have other videos live recorded from last week that I haven't edited yet, and here I am adding to that, and I want to be adding to it again by maybe priming or base coating, basically, some stuff on the bench, so I can do it on the bench, because I like doing on the bench. It makes me feel good. I enjoy it. So, gonna be doing that. But yeah, so let's finish up my coffee. Work's been a real pig this week. Only 3 days, because we had the Tuesday off as well after the bank holiday. So we had the bank holiday Monday off, and we put in for the Tuesday as well. So we only had, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to work. 3 days, and yet it felt longer than a full week. It was horrendous. It's a pretty horrendous week. We got basically, long story short, we got staff off, and everybody's feeling the pressure of trying to do all the extra work. Man, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. So looking forward to this weekend. It's every night signing off work. I was like, goodness for that. Another one over, But there you go. Thankful I have the job. It's a good job. So, I am thankful. It's just pretty stressful sometimes. It can be stressful. A stressful job. Anyone that says working from home is easy, it feels you're more captive at work than you are going into an office, because end of the day, boom, all right, I'm gone, you're out, no one can bother you then. Whereas when you're at home, people still reach you on the phone and it's like, can you just do this? And Friday is terrible for people wanting last minute stuff done for the weekend. It's like, I just want to go home. Well, I want to, log off and start relaxing. But anyway, anyway, that's world problems, right? For Zombicide, second edition. I got something, mate, and Brian from Mini Warm-Up might appreciate this. I went on eBay and I found some 3D printed, well, that someone done, Zombicide card holders and token holders, and here's one. So here's one of the card holders. I don't know if you can see the symbols on it and whatnot, but yeah, I'm really impressed with that. So I've got one like that with a symbol on. Another one there like a zombie head. Oh, you probably can't see it, but and a third one. You can put your cards that way and your noise tokens in there. So that's brilliant. I'm super impressed. And I ordered them in blue. I could have had them in any colours. Well, there was a choice of. Well, there was a choice of all colours really. I could have had a multi-colour. I could have had one red, one yellow, one green. I decided to go for all blue. And that was my light box. I decided to go for all blue. Easier, just keeps it all in place. The noise tokens, that'll be good for that, because you use a lot of, I haven't played second edition yet, but first edition you got through a lot of noise tokens, so yeah, so that's good. Anyway guys, I think that's about wraps it up really for this one. But, I just wanted to show that optic neuritis example. An example of optic neuritis. One example. Probably the most common one, I would guesstimate. Just so that if someone's struggling to describe to you what it looks like to them, that gives you some indication of what it is. So it's not out of focus, it's just difficult to see it. Yeah, anyway, all good here. Things are looking up, which is good, which is great. Like I say, I think I'm on the mend. It's just a little bit more challenging than normal. I mean, my balance has been a bit off of late, so I kind of have been staggering around the streetways and pathways as like some sort of crazy drunk person, but totally sober. It's just the way it is, But I'm loving the sunshine. Oh, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, loving it. Let's have some more of that, please. Anyway, thank you, all of you, for watching me ramble on like this on a Chill with Pete on a late night, Friday night, late Friday night. Chill with Pete, thank you. It means a lot. And do check out Patreon if you haven't. Remember my lightbox, because there's exclusive videos on there. Different levels, and let's check it out. If nothing else, give the video a thumbs up. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much. Helps the algorithm a lot. You might not think, oh, it's not going to do much, me just giving you a like, but it does immensely. And really push the bar out. Give it a share it if you want to push the boat up. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Come on. Let's join the throng of mini Warzone hobbyists, and we'll have some fun. I promise you, moving forward as I get better, I'm hoping my content will pick up and get better as well. So until then, my friends, remember, all brushes lead to war, and I will see you on another video. Bye for now. Bye bye.